as it relates to, I know it's heavily redacted, these 412 pages of these FISA applications, all four of them. And what do we got? Yates, we got, let's see, McCabe, we've got Comey's name on it, and yeah, Rod Rosenstein's name on the last one. And what did we find out? We found out that everything the Democrats told you about the Steele dossier and how these FISA warrants were not the basis or the bulk of information in those FISA warrants for Carter Page. Now, Carter Page is going to join us today. I mean, they literally lied repeatedly to get a FISA warrant on this guy, which gave them a backdoor right into the Trump campaign. First, they put the 6 in for Hillary Clinton. She should have been charged with felonies. The same people involved. And immediately thereafter, they're looking to undermine then candidate, then president-elect Donald Trump, and ever since then, Donald Trump. We have the Democrats that claim that the Steele dossier was not heavily relied upon in these FISA applications. They lied. The bulk of information came from the phony Clinton DNC, bought and paid for, put together by a foreign national dossier with Russian lies. That is the foundation of every one of these warrants. It was all predicated on a lie. I mean, just to begin, the warrant application basically was the unverified, uncorroborated dossier that Clinton and Clinton controlling the DNC's money paid for. Of course, they funneled that money through the law firm Perkins Coie, that then hired Fusion GPS, that then hired a foreign national, Christopher Steele, a guy that was fired for lying to the FBI. Oh, that's not in the documents either. It's amazing what they withheld from the FISA court judges in order to get the back door to spy on the Trump campaign. And if Carter Page was that evil, why is Carter Page able to walk into my studio in about an hour and talk to us here on the air? Now, he did go to Russia, but he also, in the last interview with us, told us almost every time after he'd been to Russia, he would sit down with the CIA, and he'd sit down with the FBI, and he'd get debriefed. In other words, he was cooperating with our government. That's a part of the application that was never told. But the FISA application, the original application in October of 2016, it proves what we've been saying, that the FBI, James Comey's FBI, and the Department of Justice relied almost entirely on this phony, unverified, uncorroborated, foreign national, put together Russian lies to steal an election. And the dossier was being bantered about by people like Brennan way beforehand. And what we find, the main allegation against Page is that he traveled to Moscow. I've never been to Moscow. I have no intention of ever going to Moscow. I don't care that much about Russia. I don't care that much about being a world traveler. I don't care that much about a lot of things. But the idea that a businessman goes to Russia and tries to, or gives a lecture in Russia, does not make them a spy in any way. And the main allegation against Page, well, he traveled to Moscow, he gave a speech, and he came in contact with Russian government officials. He's trying to get the video. He says it was about 10 seconds. I do have questions. Why was he obsessed with Russia? Why did he keep going back there? He'd lived there at a period of time for 3 years. But this is the bulk of it here. Our FISA court was misled. In other words, the FBI relied on news accounts and a phony political document and purposely lied to the judges. You know, it's hard to ascertain with all the redactions. You know, there's no evidence of, in the unredacted application, the FBI ever advised the court that Page helped the government in the 2015 prosecution of Russians who intended to recruit Page years before he joined the Trump campaign. It omits critical information.
What was that?
Carter Page is never charged with anything.
What the fuck?
It appears the court was led to believe that Page had been recruited by Russians. It actually goes on to say, in this particular, in these applications. They refer to him as an agent of a foreign power. Well, why hasn't he been arrested if he's an agent of a foreign power? By the way, that's 2 years ago they're talking about him being an agent of a foreign power. This isn't anything recent. He's not been charged with any crime. I thought in the United States you were innocent until proven guilty. And if the evidence was so overwhelming, you'd think that would have happened by now. Or the fact that, remember, it was Andrew McCabe that said, without the dossier, there would not have been a warrant made available. He told House Intelligence Committee members that. And it also means that James Comey, now you have literally the media's going nuts. Why, they're going to take back the security clearances of Brennan, Comey, and all. Of course you should take them back. Because all of them are up to their eyeballs in taking away the constitutional rights of American citizens and trying to steal a presidential election. When Comey told on his book tour, our friend Brett Baer, that the dossier was not a critical part of the application, he said it directly. That was a lie. My recollection was it was part of the broader mosaic of facts that were laid before the FISA judge to obtain the FISA warrant. There was no significant amount of additional material about Carter Page.
You called the dossier unverified, fallacious. Why did you use that to the FISA court to ask for surveillance for Carter Page? Not only use it, but you led with it. A bulk of that FISA application deals with that dossier. Why?
Yeah, that's not my recollection, Brett. And I don't know that the FISA application has been released. My recollection was it was part of a broader mosaic of facts that were laid before the FISA judge to obtain them.
There was a lot more than the dossier in the FISA application.
My recollection was there was a significant amount of additional material about Page and why there was probable cause to believe he was an agent of a foreign power. And the dossier.
That's not what we're seeing. Part of it? No, it was all of it. It was the FISA application. And now we've got the proof. Nowhere do you see the dossier described as what it was. An unverified, bought and paid for political document. They never tell the FISA judges the truth. Democrats have been out there claiming that only that it was commissioned by Glenn Simpson to damage Trump. The judges were never told. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party paid for this lie, this document full of lies. And then these so-called intelligence people like Brennan pass it on to Harry Reid and others. The only thing you get is obscure, cryptic references, but the key facts that they knew, the key facts were concealed. The court was purposely misled. They committed a fraud upon the court. And in the process, they basically shredded the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment against unreasonable search and seizure. We actually have a tape of Rod Rosenstein. If you put your signature on this thing, you own it. You're verifying it. You're corroborating it. But yet they didn't do any of it. Because the bulk of information that was the dossier turned out to be full of lies. And even Christopher Steele himself went under the threat of perjury in Great Britain, was questioned about the dossier that he put together. Said, oh, no, that was just raw intelligence, maybe 50-50. Well, that shouldn't represent the right of the United States government to get a warrant to spy on an opposition party campaign, which is what happened in this particular case. Here's how Rosenstein, remember, he signed the fourth warrant.
The way we operate in the Department of Justice, if we're going to accuse somebody of wrongdoing, we have to have admissible evidence and credible witnesses. We need to prepare to prove our case in court, and we have to affix our signature to the charging document. That's something that not everybody appreciates. There's a lot of talk about FISA applications, and many people that I see talking about it seem not to recognize what a FISA application. A FISA application is actually a warrant, just like a search warrant. In order to get a FISA search warrant, you need an affidavit signed by a career federal law enforcement officer who swears that the information in the affidavit is true and correct to the best of his knowledge and belief. And that's the way we operate. And if it's wrong, sometimes it is, if you find out there's anything incorrect in there, that person is going to face consequences.
Well, Rod Rosenstein, by his own standard, now needs to face consequences. Because what Rod Rosenstein signed was an application full of unverified, uncorroborated